over 25, then minus a 4 over 25, which is going to be 5 over 25. A11, A12, A21, A22. I'm doing the method exactly. So it's positive, negative, positive, and negative. Eliminating this number, it's going to be 3 over 5. And then going for that number, which is going to be negative 2 over 5 times 2, so it's a 2 over 5. Then I will go for A12, eliminating, so it's going to be also a positive 2 over 5. Elimination will be 3 over 5. So A minus 1 for this matrix, okay, for this one, okay, yes. I will tell you the problem, where the problem is. We already multiplied A, in order to make the check, we multiplied A times the inverse. But actually, we should multiply this matrix, because this is the matrix that we are getting the inverse for it. فاهمين أنا بقول إيه؟ Okay, so these numbers actually should be 3 over 5, negative 2 over 5, negative 2 over 5, and this number should be 3 over 5. This is going to be correct now. 3 times 3 over 5 plus 2 over 2 over 5, it's going to develop 5 over 5, which is simply positive 1. 3 times negative 2 over 5, negative 6 over 5. 2 times 3 over 5, so the sum will be a 0. And same way, like, it's going to be a 0, then finally 2 times negative 2 over 5, so it's going to come up to negative 4 over 5, plus a 9 over 5, so it will end up 5 over 5, which is 1. So this is the correct. So all what we did wrong is not wrong, just we missed this point. And this is why you should focus very much on everything. See, if I had the problem here, it's not making sense, I'll start to work with the main steps, you will find the results direct. Okay, if I want to continue, so A minus 1, it's going to be 1 over the value of the determinant, which is 5 over 5. Start multiplying by 3 over 5, 2 over 5, 2 over 5, 3 over 5. So the result simply, it's going to be exactly like this one, which is 3, 2, 2, and 3. And this is for the inverse of Leontief matrix. Okay, if demand for good 2 increases by 1 military unit, what is the change in the production of each sector? How to answer this question? فراس بص على السؤال اللي بعديه، قول لي اعمل ايه؟ خلاص انا جبت الاي ماينس اي to the power of negative 1 اوريدي عندي دلوقتي. خلاص ايه اللي هو عايزه؟
change in
قول
if the demand for good 2 increases by 1 monetary unit, what is the change in production of each sector?
Okay, so actually you are seeking production which depend on the demand. Yes. So now I can write x equal to I minus a to the power of negative 1 times what? Times d. You have the Leontief matrix now. Okay, I will write it, which is
3, 2, 2, 3.
3, okay, 3, 2, and 2. And this is going to be multiplied by the increase in which sector? This is the production of x1 and x2. Of which sector the increase you will have? By 1 military unit. If demand for good number 2 increases by 1 military unit, that means this is going to be 0 and that's going to be 1. Then the result will be 3 times 2 times 0 and 1, so it's going to be 2. And 2 times 0, 3, it's going to be 3. So this is actually the effect on each sector. This is for x1 and for x2. So x1 will be increased by 2 units. And for x2, it will be increased by 3 units. That's if we increase the production for good number 1. Good number 2. If, same question, but we increased the production, okay, but we increased the production of the first 3 sectors. يبقى إذا هحط هنا 1 واحط هنا 3 وبالتالي النمبرز بتبقى 3 ومين؟ و2. In both cases the total production will be the effect of this two sectors. That's the effect of increasing 1 unit in demand of second sector. Similar manner, if for the first sector, I will do the same, just changing this column to be 1 and 0 times 2, 3, 3 and 2, and this is gonna be x1 and x2, and finally you will have 3 and 2, which means those are the combinations of the increase in sectors 1 and 2. The total production for this economical system, due to one increase in the demand of the second, the sum of these two products is going to be 5. And also for this is going to be, so both of them, they have the same effect on the overall economy. معايا مان؟ اوكي بيرفكت. طيب يا فراس في اي مشاكل بالنسبه لده؟
لا.
دلوقتي احسن؟ طيب بص على المساله اللي جايه دي، انا رايي انها احلى واحده فيهم. The coming example is really one of a kind. Okay. Here it can be defined as the total production that's needed by the current sector and the remaining sectors in this economical system to produce 1 unit of sector J. He's telling you about the meaning of the sum of one of the vectors. As we said previously, we get the sum of these values. Okay. This is the problems that I'm telling you about. Please read it. This is really a very good problem. Okay. It makes you understand everything from the beginning, okay? So he's telling you that consider the table below, which intersectoral transactions showing how the sectors of a given economy related to each other. بص كده أنا عندي الأجريكلتشر والأجريكلتشر ده الانترميديت ديماند. أنت فاهم دلوقتي إن الأجريكلتشر بيطلع 600 أو جزء من البرودكشن بتاعه 600 منه بيروح لمين؟ للاجريكلتشر. و400 بيروح لمين؟ للاندستري. و1400 بيروحوا لمين؟ للسيرفيسز. كمان الفاينل ديماند بتاع النمبرز دي على بعضها بيطلع اوكي طلع بكام؟ 600. يبقى البرودكشن بيساوي كام؟ جمع النمبرز دي على بعضها. يبقى 600 بلس 400 بلس 1400 بلس 600 يطلع عندك الفاليو بتساوي كام؟ بيساوي 300. ده is a 1000 وده the 2000 so the sum will be 3000. معايا يا مستر فراس؟
بس why is it 3000? Why is it not 2000?
ازاي؟ 600 و 400 it's gonna be 1000. Okay, 1400 plus 600 so it's gonna be 2000. the sum will be 3000. لأن أنت أصلا التوتال برودكشن بيتوزع ازاي؟ وديك توزيع التوتال برودكشن. بيتوزع 600 للأجريكلتشر و400 للاندستري و1400 للسيرفيسز والباقي بينزل فري ماركت او اللي هو الفري اوردر اللي هو الديماند الفاينل ديماند 600. Similarly we'll go for industry. Industry بتسيرف الفيرست سيكتور بكام؟ 1500. Okay, for itself it eats 800 to keep up and running. And 700 will go for services. The final demand is 1000. The result is 4000 and so on. Okay, represent the equilibrium between production and the demand of the previous economy using the matrices and the following Leontief's input-output model. حتى ده بتعملوا لي. أنا عايز إيه؟ إيه question number إيه كده؟ ده معناه إن أنا أعمل إيه؟ ها؟
هنعمل أيوه دي
أيوه إزاي بقى؟ اديني ماتريكس A.
ماتريكس A.
اوكي. without X plus ده B.
أرقام كبيرة.
ها؟ وفي هنا مين؟ طب يلا قولي لي. Numbers are
هم كبار
ما تديني بس. 600
600
بعدين
1500
بعدين 400
400
بعدين
1400
اوكي بعدين
1500
اوكي 1500 بعدين 800 700
بعدها 900 300 700
بعدين 900
300
okay 700. But these numbers should be fractions, yes? So
Why should they be?
how to change them into ratios from production? Just to divide them by the total production. What's the total production of the first sector?
3000
Okay, so I'm gonna take the first ratios and divide them all by,
3,000.
this is for the first sector. For the second sector, the total is 4,000. So it's gonna be
divided by 4000 for the sector by 2600
okay. This one will be divided by
2600
2,600. And for the final demand, what's gonna be the rest of the final demand? The rest, the final demand will be
600, 1,000, 700.
600. بعدين
1,000, وبعدين 700.
so
700.
if I have 700, okay, this equilibrium system should be correct. If you enter the production, which is
3,000, 4,000, 3,000.
so, this should be correct, exactly correct, if I replaced X by the column of the production, which is
3000
and
4000
and
26
okay, Mr. Firas, start multiplying these matrices. I will multiply the first row by the first column, so it will end up having 600 plus a 400 plus a 1400 plus 600, which is gonna equal to
3000
3,000.
second row. I will multiply the second row by the production. So it's gonna be 1500, 800, 700 plus a 1000. The value will come up to
4000
4,000 and so on. فراس انا كده جاوبتك على السؤال اللي كنت عايز ترفع ايدك وتسالني عليه. شايف الكنترول؟ شوف بص شوف ازاي قدرت احول سيناريو قصه كلام okay into the matrices. This is the importance of matrices. We succeeded in translating the balance, conveying the balance of this story into this matrix form. يا شباب السوق عامل ازاي؟ انا بنتج وحدات فبتتعد قدام عينيا. I'm a factory producing 100 cars. The cars really are in the parking lot. How can you distribute these cars? I will take 4 of them for me to help me out with to keep up and running for the overhead, for the whatever in this factory. I will take 4 of them. This is a percentage for the production. Okay, the agriculture will need from me another 10 cars. So 10 of my production will go for agriculture. I will eat those amount. And then I have for services, the people who are working as doctors, engineers, whatever, they will buy those cars. So I will satisfy 700 for the services in general. Or for the government. شفت دلوقتي بتشوف ان في المرور عربيات ماشيه مكتوب عليها ميتسوبيشي براند، بعضهم تويوتا، بعضهم مرسيدس، بعضهم. العربيات دي ايه اللي حصل؟ وزاره الداخليه عندك المانيفاكتشرنج سيكتور بيدفع ضرائب صح؟ بدل ما ادفع لك ضرائب فلوس انا ممكن ادفع لك ضرائب دي ايه؟
عربيات.
برودكتس. اوكي؟ طيب بدل ما يبقى عليا انا مستورد عربيات من بره، بدل ما هدفع لك الضرائب والفيز فلوس، هدفع لك الضرائب والفيز دي مين؟ يونتس، برودكتس. مش ده موجود؟ It's actually a very good trade for me and for you. انت عايز تجيب عربيات هاي كواليتي واقل شويه من السعر، وانا كمان عايز اوفر من الفلوس اللي انا بدفعها، فهبيع العربيه بالمربح بتاعها ليك. دي حلوه ولا فكره وحشه؟ فكره كويسه. يبقى اذا انا نفذت ده. اللي قدر انه to interpret the meaning of this economical system, he really understood what Leontief is. طب كمل بيقول لك with a production of an X 111 يعني البرودكشن بتاعك بقى 111 which will be the final consumption. اوكي؟ الفاينل consumption يبقى عامل ازاي؟ كل اللي انا هعمله بعد ما اللي انت شفته ده اروح جاي هنا عامل ايه؟ حطت النمبرز هنا تاني once more with a production of X 1 1 and 1 يبقى الاكسل بتوعك بقى 1 1 1 which will be the final consumption of this matrix. عشان اقدر اجيب الفاينل consumption بتاع السيستم بتاعي ده كل اللي عليا ان انا اعمله هعتبر ان ده تاني هو مين؟ وانا دلوقتي مين اللي معلوم اللي عايز اجيبه؟
600
ارجع لده. هو عايز مين؟ عايز يحدد مين؟
الديماند.
دي الفاينل ديماند. اوكي، يعني ده معناه ان انا I will move A times X to the other side. يعني ده معناه ان الفاينل ديماند ده بيساوي البرودكشن اللي هو X minus A في X. Am I right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, perfectly. So now I can get I minus A times mean times X.
Yes.
Can you get this matrix?
Yeah.
How? Now, cow.
ممكن اوكي نفتح ماتريكس نعمل
3000 over 3000 minus 600 over 3000, so the result will be
نعم جبنا 3000 over 3000
minus 400 over 4000, so it's gonna be
1 over 10 negative 1 over 10.
yes, you're right, but I'm just writing down as it is. For this value, it's gonna be
Negative 1400 over 1600.
okay. How did we get this row? Because this is I of
3, yeah, 1 0 0.
yes,
1,
exactly
0,
right.
0,
So
0.
for the second column, for the second row, it's gonna be negative 1500 divided by 3000.
Yeah.
But this number, it's gonna be 3200
over 4000.
over a 4000. This value will be negative over 700 over 2600. The last one will be minus 900 over the 3000. The other one will be negative over 300 over the 4000.
Negative.
The last one will be,
Negative
I believe, 1900.
Yes, yes.
So it's gonna be a 1900 divided by the 2600. Now I will multiply by the X column, which is, and this is to get the final amount directly.
Okay.
So all I have to do is to get these values correct, which means get the sum of all of this.
بالظبط.
So for the first one, this is 1400 was negative, and the negative 400, so it's gonna come up to 1800. 18 with 24, the difference will be 6, I believe.
ثم مش نفس الدينومينيتور.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I will have to
Multiply.
get the sum. I'm sorry for this. Okay, then I will get the value in the first, second, and the third values for the demands. Okay.
بس مش هيجينا سؤال زي ده اصل ده لو من غير كالكيتر هياخد وقت
بس ممكن نجيب لك الارقام دي اسهل شويه فانت مش هتتعب نفسك كده.
بس انا اللي هو
يعني الارقام دي اقدر ان انا اختصرهم مع بعض، ما هو ده هيبقى 24 اوفر 30 اقدر تو سمبليفاي
بس برضه عشان الوقت في الامتحان.
يعني مش المهم ايه اللي في الامتحان،
اوكي
المهم
الكونسبت.
هنا بيقول لك find Leontief's inverse matrix of the situation. طبعا عشان اقدر اعمل ده لازم all I have to do is to get the inverse of this matrix. Okay?
Yeah.
Using cofactor method, using Gauss, Jordan, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. With a variation on the final demand of delta D equal triple one. Okay. What is the impact on the production of each sector of these sectors? Okay.
What does that mean though?
وعايز ايه هنا؟
The final demand of 111. What is
خلي بالك الايكويشن اللي قدامي دي كانت بتجيب الدي as a function in مين؟
in x.
بس هنا انا بعكس. هنا ده معناه انا عايز مين؟
انا عايز اخلي
انا عايز البرودكشن دلتا اكس which is gonna equal to the Leontief matrix اللي هي الماتريكس دي بس بعد ما اجيب لها inverse. يعني لو انا عندي ده double zeros divide on 6 so it's gonna be 4 over 5. The other number it's gonna be minus 1 over 10 minus 1 over 10 minus 0.1. The last one leave the number so it's gonna come up to negative of 7 over 13. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The last one it's gonna be negative half I believe. Minus
not sure.
1 over 2, this value. So this one too, it's going to come on to leave the zeros, divide on 5, so it's going to be on 8, I'm sorry, so it's going to be 4 over 5, yes? Am I right?
برضو ما ركزتش بصراحة.
برضو leave the zeros, so it's going to come up to negative 7 over 26. The last one, which is going to be, leave the zeros, so it's going to be 9 over 30, which is going to be 3 over 10. Minus 3 over 10. This number leave the zero, so you will have negative 30, negative 3 over 40, I believe.
Yeah.
The last one, which is going to be 19 over 26. Don't forget that we need to get the inverse of this matrix.
Can we divide these by 3?
Okay.
The last two? No, we
Okay. بعدين هعمل multiplication في الديماند column. Demand column اللي هو بكام؟
111.
So it's a 1, 1, 1. So you have to get the inverse first, then multiplying in D.
Yeah.
Remark the difference between this formula and that formula. Here I'm getting D
أنا مش عارف
as a
ليه.
function in X. Here's I'm getting the difference in X as a function in difference in D.
Okay, why did we? Why are we inversing it بقى? I know how to do it, but I don't know why we're doing it.
D equal something times X, yes? Okay. If I want to get X, what should we do? X will equal D divided by this issue.
Okay.
But we don't have division, but we have multiplication in the inverse. So I will get the inverse
Okay.
of this value.
تمام.
لذلك اللي أنا كنت بقوله and using this formula will help you out to find the demand as a function in production.
Yeah.
But this one will help you out to find the production as a function in
The
demand.
Finally.
Okay. شوف قد ايه العملية بسيطة جدا أولا، ثانيا محتاجة حد فيه فيه راس. معايا مان؟
Yeah, it's simple, but it's not easy.
It's easy once you understand it very well. So actually, I have the main form which states x equal ax plus d,
Okay.
which controls production, intermediate demand plus final demand. Okay, if you manipulate this a little bit, all I have to do is to just isolate x with respect to d, and this is what I did. Here's exactly what we did, getting d as a function in x.
Okay.
So actually, this relation, it's a mean. This is the first equation. getting the demand as a function in production. Okay, this one is the last one, getting the x as a function in the demand. So actually, this is x I minus 8 to the power of negative 1 times d. Okay? Okay, perfect. For the second problem, this is 1.56. You have the technical coefficient matrix. You have the demand. Now he's asking for a final demand of 120 military units.
Yeah.
What is the value of the quantity produced by each sector? I think this is very, very easy. Okay, I want you to get me X. If you know that, the demand is given by
120.
how to do it. I need the X values based on what?
On
The demand.
Yeah.
So how to get the production depends on demand.
عندنا ال A.
This equation.
Yeah.
So D will equal I,
That's
that's
how
going to
we
be
have the
I2
final- we have the final
minus
demand.
A times X. We have A, but we don't have I minus A. Yes, am I talking right?
No,
No,
we
no,
have
no,
the-
no, no. I will need to get, just a second, find the final demand,
يبقى
getting D as a function, okay? Get, no, I need the production as a function in D, so I'm using this equation.
بالظبط yeah.
Okay, so I will get I minus A first, then I will get the inverse, then I will multiply it by the demand column that's here,
Okay.
in order to get the production.
Yeah.
معايا في راسك؟
أنا
طيب. For the other two parts, which is part number B, this is the equation that I will use in order to get the demand. Okay, he is saying define GDP and the sum of the values of production of each sector. What is the impact on GDP of increase of €1 of final demand of good 1 and good 2? Choose the best option to maximize the increase in GDP. General GDP is the total monetary value of all goods and services reduced. GDP is a key indicator used as the definition of GDP, okay? Which stands for the gross domestic production. وانا اقدر ان انا اجيب البرودكشن عن طريق ان انا بجمع numbers all together. I will leave B or C for you just to look at them and to take the chance in order to look at those, and then we will go through them next time, inshallah. You will, if A is a square matrix of order 2, where all entries are real numbers between 0 and 1, then the matrix I minus A is invertible. Please think. He's telling you if A is a square matrix of order 2, you saw plenty of square matrices of order 2, where all entries are real. كل النمبرز اللي داخله مالها real numbers. Okay? Between 0 and the mean? Between 0 and the 1. Okay, then the matrix I minus A is invertible?
Yes.
No.
احنا
Some of them,
Okay.
but not all of them.
Sure. Yeah.
خلي بالك هو كسرك في حته مدي نص صح ونص غلط. ما هو فعلا كل النمبرز لو هم fractions، لو كل الانتريز are fractions، ما هو fractions يعني less than 1 صح كده؟ زي مثلا 2 over 5 2 over 5 2 over 5 2 over 5 ابسط حاجه. كلهم fractions و less than كام؟
This one, yeah.
بس الماتريكس دي اللي هي لو انا عملت لها مش بتكلم على دي بالتحديد ممكن certain combination of another number once you subtract it from the I matrix you may end up having two rows equal to each other or two columns equal to each other in this manner they are not going to be invertible. So mainly no, I can't say this for sure. Okay, but on the other hand
مثلا يس وحد جاوب نو ممكن يحسب لنا نص درجة.
لا يا صح يا غلط ما ده اللي تحته if A is a square matrix of order 2 where all entries are real numbers between 0 and 1 all of them are fractions then the vector x minus A times x as a non-negative entries for all x ده هيبقى له non-negative entries for all x belongs to R2 with no negative entries. ها برضه فكر كده شوف لو انا جبت I minus A تاني بيقول if A is a square matrix of order 2 where all entries are real numbers between 0 and
And one.
between 0 and 1 يعني كل النمبرز اللي موجوده عندك fractions انا خدت الفراكشنز دي وعملت لهم subtraction من مين؟ من اليونت ماتريكس. فاهمني؟ وده احنا عملناه اكتر من مره.
مهم.
لما بعمل السبتراكشن ده غالبا بيطلع البرنسبل دايجونال بوزيتيف، بس الاذر تو دايجونال او السكندري دايجونال بيطلع النمبرز بتاعته ايه؟ نيجاتيف. مش انت تاخد 1 ماينس وده فراكشن فهيجيب بوزيتيف. بعدين 0 ماينس the value that exists it's gonna be 0. معايا يا شباب؟ I'm sorry it's gonna be negative. اوكي بس بيقول x minus ax then the vector x minus ax الفيكتور بتاعي ده as non-negative entries for all x belongs to R2 with non-negative entries لكل الاكسات اللي مالهاش negative entries.
يعني ايه بقى؟
طيب هو الاكس ده بيعبر عن ايه؟
اكس ده البرودكشن.
طيب لما يبقى الاكس ده البرودكشن اللي هو لازم يبقى ممكن يبقى نيجاتيف فاليوز.
يبقى نيجاتيف؟
ازاي لا؟
مستحيل. يبقى اذا ده معناها ان اي ماينس اي ممكن يبقى فيها نيجاتيف فاليوز. بس لما اعمل لها مالتيبليكيشن في الاكس فاليوز لازم الريزلتس بتاعتها تطلع بالايه؟
مش بوزيتيف.
لان اصلا ده عباره عن ايه؟ عن برودكشن. صح؟ يبقى اذا ده هيبقى كوريكت. If A is a square matrix of order 2 where all entries are real numbers between 0 and 1, then the vector x minus ax as non-negative entries. يعني الانتريز ما هياش نيجاتيف، الانتريز اللي هم داخلين as production يعني. For all x belongs to R2 لكل produce productions in R2 with non-negative entries, the result will be correct. The production must be, all the elements will be positive. لان انت لما بتضرب اكس
بس لما احنا بنعمل اكس ماينس اي اكس مش ممكن تطلع نيجاتيف واحنا
في ايه؟
بس a multiplied by x دايما هيدينا بوزيتيف. بس
A multiplied لا طبعا كلامك مظبوط. A multiplied by x دايما هيطلع بوزيتيف.
بس احنا ممكن نعمل a multiplied by x تجيب لنا fraction of the production of الاكس.
لازم لما اعمل برودكشن ده لازم لما اعمل مالتيبليكيشن ده لان لما بضرب ال A تايمز الاكس بيديني الانترميديت ديماند.
فهو دايما هيكون اكتر من
فلما اخد الانترميديت ديماند اطرحه من البرودكشن المفروض يديني مين؟ فاينل ديماند. وبالتالي الفاينل ديماند ده لازم يبقى فاليوز بالبوزيتيف، ما ينفعش انها تبقى بالنيجاتيف.
لا هي مش انا ما قلتش انها هتبقى بالنيجاتيف، هتبقى يعني a fraction of الاكس basically هتبقى positive بس تبقى اقل من الاكس. فاحنا لما نعمل x minus الاي اكس
هيديلك رقم بوزيتيف.
اوكي
تاني فهمت قصدي ايه؟ انا بتكلم نفس النقطه على فكره، نفس الكلام. تاني
انا سؤالي ان
الاي في الاكس لوحده الاوت كم بتاعه هيبقى ايه؟ بوزيتيف لان الاي كلها fractions of what's already exist in x. So these positive values will be are actually ratios or parts from the x.
فكده لو احنا عملنا x minus ax هتدينا نيجاتيف.
لا هتديك بوزيتيف.
لا عشان هي part يعني for example لو x let's represent it as one.
Just let them a second.
Okay.
A times x stand for the meaning regardless of the mathematics. A times x stand for intermediate demand. صح?
Okay.
And the x is
the production.
If I moved this value to the other side, so the difference between them will be
it's demand. Okay.
So you will have it positive values. Okay. And if you want to get the inverse, it will be invertible for these positive values. Okay, perfect. I wanna. What's the time now? What's our time?
Might be 11 ل 10.
11?
يعني
10:50. I want to go through a quick revision through the exam. Okay? If you want to take a break for a while and then continue, it's okay. If you want to go ahead, it's okay also with me. What do you prefer? طيب شوية.
2 minutes عادي.
خلاص okay. I will give you 5 minutes or 10 minutes just to move around, and then I will start on the revision for the exam. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.